Okay, so this is a video about dealing with being afraid, dealing with overcoming. And a lot of times we don't realize how much strength we have in defining ourselves. Like, if there has been something that you've not liked about yourself for a very long time, do you know who has control over that? You do. Nobody else don't have control over something you don't like about yourself but you. So if there's something about you that you want to overcome, you need to start learning about that thing. You need to start trying to figure out how people who don't have that problem, how they get through life. You need to start coaching yourself, giving yourself some healthy affirmations. You need to start changing the way you think about yourself. And when you start, and if it's a sin or iniquity, then you need to go to God first with it. And you need to say, Lord, listen, this is where my problem is. This is where either I was hurt. This is where I can't forgive somebody. This is where, I have been hindered, and ask him to help you with that. So I have been dealing with some of my iniquity, and one of my iniquities is pride and trusting in my own strength. And so when I did the video on Ezekiel 33, and if my mom was on here, she would be like, why do we always call everything we do little? It ain't little. She'd be like, yo, big video. So when I did my big video on Ezekiel 33, I talked about warning. And so the warning that God revealed to me through, I know this might sound crazy, but I was watching Queen of the South, and in the show, one of the main characters, Teresa, she's always trusting in her own strength. She's always getting through because her mind is strong. She's always trying to outthink her way, or be so strong, or have such good character to get herself out of situations. And I'm like that too. And then the other character, Camilla, she's so proud, and her pride is really the worst thing about her. She's proud, and she also wants everything to be her way, and she doesn't care what it takes. And so as I watched that show, I thought about myself and examined myself. And also in her marriage, she was just really determined to always have her own way. And so those were two iniquities that I laid at God's feet. And also when we do that, when we examine ourselves, when we think about why am I the way I am, all of that, and you really feel like, okay, well, I'm done being like that, I'm gonna overcome that, you will learn that at the end of the day, we're all here because God has a plan and a purpose for us. You're not here for yourself. He continues to wake you up and give you life. So obviously, whatever that thing was that broke you, that hurt you like it did, you can overcome because you already are in the process of doing so. Every day you're waking up. Even if you haven't gotten to the point where you're over it, you're strong enough, you're, healed from it. Even if you haven't gotten to that point yet, you have the potential to get there. And so God is always able to make us over and make us new. Ezekiel 36:26 says, I will take away your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. So that means that even if we have a rock hard heart, something has just made us we got so many walls up. We don't trust people. We, love with a distance. We got an attitude, or we're angry, or we're just dismissive and shut down, or whatever it is, whatever our defense mechanism is. There's still a place where God can reach beyond that. Even if there's things that you're in the process of doing wrong or have always done wrong, like I said in my last video. Or, I don't know, my last video got messed up. It was actually 30 minutes and it only showed 8 minutes, but I'm going to put it on my YouTube and take it with a grain of salt. But anyway, even like in my last video, I think I was saying like, there's always a chance for anybody to change. Change is awesome, and change for the better is awesome. There's another thing that I have been learning recently, and that is you can't have old wineskins with new wine. So that means if you are being pulled and called to a higher place, if God is bringing you to a higher destiny, if He is showing you like more than ever, like, listen, I'm the one who has been leading your life the whole time. I'm the one who is the captain of your ship. I am the one in control. And as He's showing you that, He's taking you to new places and higher ground. But if you have old wineskins, your old self can't get there. It's like a butterfly when it's coming out, when a caterpillar is in its cocoon, it can't become a butterfly and spread its wings unless it breaks through the cocoon. So, you can't just have the old wineskins. And so I know the wineskin metaphor may not make sense to us because we're in 2021. But what it was is there were these animal skins, and when you put wine in it, the wine ferments, and the fermentation causes gases from the wine to expand in the animal skin. So if you fill that that original animal skin up maybe 2 or 3 times, now the process of the gases expanding and the wine fermenting has expanded the bag to the point where it's at its capacity. It only can stretch so far. And then if you put new wine in that old wineskin, it's gonna burst, and you're gonna not only lose your wineskin, but you're also gonna lose all the new wine. So, and this has nothing to do with drinking or anything like that, but this is in the Bible. This is in Matthew 9:17, and also I think in Mark 3:27. But so basically, Jesus was saying like you can't mix old behavior with a new level. So you have to change. You have to make changes. And I'm undergoing changes within myself right now. And so with that, if you have new wine, you need a new wineskin. So just like at Easter time, you be like, I need a new dress. It's Easter. Like there's certain things that you need to be new for, and you need something new. Let me see what else. What's I gonna say? Oh, Jesus also made another example, because He was like, if you have a garment and you try to sew a new piece of cloth with an old piece of cloth, it's gonna tear right there, because they're not compatible. So if you have things from who you are right now, your old self, that are trying to grow into your new season, the two can't come together. Like you gotta change. Lauren, you gotta let go of your pride. Lauren, you gotta not be so confident in your own ability and your own strength. You gotta rely on the Lord. You gotta rely on your husband. You gotta rely on other things than just you. And so I'm just grateful. And let me tell y'all something about studying the Bible and studying the Word. If you do it every day, even if you read something in the Bible and it scares the mess out of you, that's still something you can pray to God about. Lord, I read this passage and it just scared the mess out of me. Lord, I just repent of my sins. I need you to help me. Like, don't be afraid to read the Bible. Some people say they open the Bible and close it right back. But don't be afraid to read the Bible, because the Bible is your life. My grandmother used to tell me this literally every single time she talked to me. She'd be like, Lauren, you are grieving the Holy Spirit with your lifestyle. Lauren, the Bible is your life. God is your life. And I would be like, oh my goodness. But she was really telling me the truth. And I'm telling you now, because the point is, everybody needs somebody to pull their coattail to be like, no, that is not you. You need to stop. You don't need to do stuff to fit in. You don't need to nurse your own wounds and like feel like woe is me. You don't need to just hold on to something that you like. For instance, everybody has things that people have put on you. Somebody might say, oh, Lauren, she's quiet, she will never stand up for herself, she doesn't have a backbone. Hey Shanae, somebody is always putting a label on you. She doesn't talk back, or she doesn't know how to she doesn't know how to be on time, or she doesn't know how to keep her commitments, or whatever. People will always forever be talking about us. So people talking about us is nothing new. But when we start to believe these things about ourselves, like my mom, she told me that her dad like had made some type of comment about her being dumb when she was like a child, and it really like stuck with her. And it's like we hold on to a lot of negative things, either that people have told us about ourselves or that we believe about ourselves, and then they become limitations. But Jesus said you can't have old wine, you can't have new wine in old wineskins. There are going to be things about yourself that you're going to have to let go because they can't go into your new level. For instance, me, like as being a mother and a wife, dude, there are like 3 million things that you have to be on top of. And the way I am, I'm kind of one of those people who does things like when they think of them. But when you have responsibilities, you have to plan ahead. And so what did I do? I'm trying to figure out, how can I plan a month ahead? How can I plan 2 months ahead? How can I plan a year ahead? Like, so just strengthen your weaknesses. Don't ever let your weakness or your inadequacy be a hindrance to where you're trying to go. Because there's always a way, like while you're living and breathing, there's always room for improvement. And also, if God has continued to wake you up and give you another chance, if he's continued to give you grace and mercy, if he saw that big mistake you made and yet he's still being good to you, then obviously you still have worth and you still have purpose. So don't ever give up on yourself. Never give up on yourself. In my bathroom, I have a quote that says, you have within you the potential to benefit a great and many people, but that will remain dormant, and you will just be another bitter and frustrated person unless you start to believe in yourself and go after it. And that's just one of those things, like, wow. Even when you think about Jesus picking out the 12 disciples, do you know Matthew, the tax collector, he had to say, I'm leaving this entire job so that I can be a disciple of Christ. And then he threw a whole big old party for all his tax collector friends. And even though they were all sinners, Jesus still came to his party, his feast. And all the people who were like already Jews, they were like, why would you go to that party? Like, what are you doing? This is a fast day. You're supposed to be fasting. Like, what is that about? And he said to them, he said, why would the bride mourn when the bridegroom is here? So he's saying, I'm here. I am the Son of God. I'm here with y'all. So why would you feel like you have to like disfigure yourself or whatever? Like, why would you feel like that? I'm here to continue. I'm here to continually reach people and save people. And so just whatever thing that we know about ourselves, even if your purpose or potential is not being activated right now, it's still there. It's still there. Don't give up on your dreams. Your dreams are still there. Sometimes your dreams are coming together at a staggered pace. There was a really good, if you're my Facebook friend, there was a really good post that I posted today from Rosalind Green Price. She had a talk show with Letitia Anderson, and her website is letitiaanderson.org, and she was talking about how when we are in the process of birthing something, it's literally like being in labor. And she was like, y'all gotta watch it, but she was like, at the baby shower, you got all these people saying, oh girl, your baby is gonna be so pretty, oh here's a present, here's a gift, but those people aren't in the delivery room with you. And I was like, girl, You better preach. She said that they aren't in the delivery room with you. They not there when you scared because you got to push the baby out. They're not there when they're telling you it's a complication. So even with your dream, if you run into a stumbling block, she was just saying, like, just know you got to have the right people in your circle to empower you and to hold you up and to tell you can do it and to tell you gonna make it and to tell you that's okay. It's just a part of the process. So she was talking about how labor is hard work and we have to be willing to go through it. And just even going back to what I was saying before about change and like realizing there are going to be some people, some mindsets, a lot of stuff that can't go with you to your next level. And you know, it is what it is. I'm just like, I never thought that in 2021, in the midst of the world being in a state of disarray and all that God still had blessings. And he does. Like today, y'all, my favorite candy is Conversation Hearts. And I talk to everybody like my mom does. But I went into the Dollar Tree and it's a lady who works there and she's my friend or whatever. And she said, Lauren, I got something for you. And she had a bag of Conversation Hearts, my favorite candy. Like, only God can bless you like that. Like this, she does not owe me a birthday present. She doesn't have to give me something, but she gave me a bag of Conversation Hearts for my birthday. So God is still good. He's still on the throne. He's still blessing. He's still our source. And just like when the Israelites wandered in the wilderness for 40 years, even though they was in trouble with him, he did not let their shoes break and he didn't let their clothes wear out. And he supplied them food from heaven, manna, bread from heaven, and he gave them quail. And if you go back on YouTube and go to Jackson Street Church of Christ, and the lesson was Satan's secret tool of discouragement or something like that, part 3. But he said in there, I'm like, dang, I done gave that plug. And I got to try to remember what he said. He said, oh my goodness, I'm like, I done said all that to say. I don't even know what I said. What was I trying to say? I'm about to go back and watch it. But anyway, I just lost my whole train of thought. But anyway, I can't remember. But anyway, we have to, I'm going to have to get off the live because I'm just like, I have no idea what I was trying to say. When he was talking about the tools of discouragement, y'all just have to go find it and watch it. But I'm like, I was trying to make a connection and then I just completely lost it trying to remember how to give the plug. But anyway, that's okay. But anyway, yeah, we have to just remember. Okay, well, I can tell you this from his lesson. He was talking about how we have to remember all the things that God has done for us before today. Like if you was in a bad situation before today and he got you out, then you need to connect the dots and be like, okay, I can trace back in my memory and I can trace back to a point where I didn't have nothing and God yet made a way. I can trace back to a point where I didn't have the credentials I needed and yet God tied it together and made a way for me. So if you can do that, if you can go back in your own memory and remember what the Lord has done for you, then you know he's the same God today, yesterday, forever, and always. And that if you are his child, he has you on his mind. He knows what you're going through. He knows what people are saying to you. He knows how tired you're getting. He knows that sometimes you're feeling like this is not working. Sometimes you can't listen to everything that everybody else is doing. What's good for them ain't good for you. So you need to always know, like, just trust your own judgment. Trust what God has told you, because there's so many people in the Bible who God had given a unique message to, and other people did not get their assignment. Like, your assignment is not everybody else's assignment. And so when you realize that and you see, like, oh, I think I was saying something about how God can be connecting the dots. No, that wasn't what I was saying. But anyway, just know, like, God is so good. He already knew every single one of us would be alive during this time period. And he knew whatever discouragement we was going to face. but he still can't put it together for us. And we just have to trust, like, okay, Lord, the world's not looking like it used to look, but I still have this thing in me that I'm trying to birth and give life to, give vision to. Help me. Okay, I do want to share this. So my little student, she told me she was watching somebody on YouTube called Latoya it's like OKEIAE or something like that. But anyway, she said she was watching a video, and the lady said where it says we walk by faith and not by sight. She said you have to not let your sight kill your vision. So don't let the things that you're seeing in your circumstances kill where you know that you're supposed to be going, and know the direction that you're supposed to be headed in. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off the live because I'm really mad I forgot my point. But I'm gonna watch it and I'll try to figure it out. But thanks for watching. Y'all be blessed.